The holiday season is back, which means it's a time for giving. Subaru and its retailers believe in giving back to those who need it most. For the past 17 years, Subaru has made the act of buying a Subaru during the holiday season an act of love. When you purchase or lease a new Subaru during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers donate a minimum of $300 to charity. By the end of this year's event, Subaru and its retailers will have donated nearly $320 million to national and hometown charities. To learn more, go to subaru.com/share. Subaru, more than a car company.
Sometimes life can seem hard and tough to navigate, but what may seem like the smallest tasks, such as getting out of bed or even brushing your teeth, should be celebrated as a win. And State Farm is here to help you celebrate all your wins. The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Sail to breathtaking destinations in Alaska or Europe with the Disney Cruise Line. Discover where onboard magic meets onshore adventures, where beloved characters
Hiya, pal!
meet alluring landscapes, where Broadway quality shows meet historic cities, where imaginative dining meets amazing wildlife, and where exciting experiences await the whole family. Book an adventure-filled summer Disney cruise to Alaska or Europe.
Are lingering depression symptoms affecting you? If you're on an antidepressant and still struggling with lingering depression symptoms, ask your doctor about a lift in relief with Vraylar, cariprazine. Vraylar is a prescription medicine approved for use with antidepressant medicines to treat major depressive disorder, MDD, in adults. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. Results may vary. Vraylar is not approved in elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis or for people under 18. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, feeling like you need to move around, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common side effects. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. For a lift and relief, ask about adding Vraylar, Vraylar. Visit Vraylar.com or call 1-877-6-VRAYLAR to learn more.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness, and a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
Budget Better Bonus Series. Step 3, Plan for the Future.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends Podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends Podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And this is our third installment of the Budget Better Bonus Series, where we are finally actually diving in to budgeting in step 3 of the process.
Yes.
That's how you budget better. You just have a better, more solid foundation before you start.
You know we don't love to start with the math. There's so much that needs to happen before that. And to catch you all up, if you're just jumping in now, we've been giving some bonus short episodes, just 20 minutes long, which is what you can expect from this one today, where in the past two, we looked at the past, then the present, and today we're at the future. This is kind of our little Christmas carol, Ghost of Christmas, past, present, and future, just to be cute.
This is the most ominous one, I would say, in the Christmas Carol story, but it is not ominous here. We do love a good budget, and we think it can be customized for everyone. And the first way we customize it is that we don't typically refer to a budget as a budget. And the reason why is because that word has a lot of negative connotations for a lot of people. If you love the word budget, we encourage you to keep using it. But if you're like me, who has been personally victimized by the word budget, I spent years making these perfect budgets and never being able to spend in the way that I budgeted. I knew what was coming in. I made the budget to dictate what was going out. And for some reason, I couldn't do the things I said I wanted to do. And that cycle at month after month created a lot of guilt and shame around budgeting. So even that was before my husband and I paid off $78,000 of debt. While we were on that debt payoff journey, we used a budget every month and stuck to it very strictly. And I came out of that having shame and guilt about spending money. Even when I budgeted money for something that I had, I felt guilty spending on it because it wasn't the quote unquote most efficient or best way to spend that money according to financial experts. So
yeah, it really can feel like deprivation. Sometimes it can feel like the point of a budget is to get you to spend as little money as possible. And we really like to view it as, yes, we do need to have a plan, but we need to have the skill sets to implement that plan. And we need to know how we're spending the money. Really, that's what it is. It's a plan for where your money's going to go. And I think sometimes reshifting the language can help us to understand the purpose of it a little bit better. So you'll hear us still use the word budget because everyone knows what that means.
Obviously, Budget Better Bonus Series is the name of the series.
But we also really love to interchangeably call it a spending plan so that we can feel a little bit less shame and guilt about the fact that it will include spending money. That's the whole point of it. And what we also want with this spending plan is for it to be values aligned. So we talk about values-based spending a lot on this podcast. It's essentially what our entire book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, is about. And what we mean by our values and how we want to spend on that is recognizing the core values that exist for most of us, while also knowing that many times we can get after these values without spending money. So we'll kind of connect all these dots here in this quick little episode. But for a refresher for all of us, we have found that for the majority of us, we share common core values. The things that are most important to us can be summarized in the 4 F's. So family, faith, friends, and fulfilling work. We love alliteration. We love a good F word. And so what we find is that most of us, with all of our spending with our energy, our spending of our time, our spending of our emotional, mental, physical resources, spending of our money often goes towards these areas. That usually what we most want more of is meaningful time with friends and family. We want to be able to engage in faith practices and spirituality that is life-giving to us. We want to engage our hands and our minds in fulfilling work. And being able to make a plan for our money and our time around these things can be a really helpful place to start and then fill in the gaps with all of the math. So we love to start here. And when it comes to a spending plan, of course, the 90-day transaction inventory and the 30-day no spend challenge is going to help you to identify, how am I spending time in these 4F categories? What is getting me more of that? Where can I see gaps? Where could I get more fulfilling interactions with these 4 Fs? Will be where we begin, and then start identifying, okay, then with the money that I do have, how can I allocate this?
So tangibly, how this transforms how the budget looks is 2 ways. First, instead of having categories like groceries, takeout, restaurants, non-food groceries, coffee, and all these very specific budget line items, we essentially have 5 budget line items. And we start them with the values. So one budget line item is family. The next is friendships, relationships. The next is faith, spirituality, self-care, that sort of thing. And then finally, we have fulfilling work. So passion projects, continuing education, all of this stuff. And then we have like a miscellaneous, because 80% of our expenses are going to be able to fall under that. But there's going to be some that don't. So then we've got a miscellaneous. So instead of having just this small miscellaneous category and all these other big specific, like tiny specific categories, we've got just big groups. It makes it much more flexible. And so the second way it changes it is that we are not just budgeting money in this spending plan. We are budgeting how we spend all of our resources, mainly our money and our time. So we also want to put our time in there because there's a lot of ways when we are first pursuing our higher needs, and we can do it with time, we can do it creatively without money, then we feel the need to impulse spend or pursue these things with money less frequently. So we are creating a more flexible, open spending plan, and we are not just budgeting our money, we're also budgeting our time and sometimes other resources too. So like mental energy, physical space, getting creative with all of your resources and seeing how, like, I want to budget like part of my time and part, my living room to have coffee with a friend at my house. That's just like a high level example, but you get creative in how you do this, and it is going to feel much less restrictive than the old way of budgeting.
This doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a super complicated spreadsheet. Like, we're not saying come up with an entirely new way of allocating your money, but that when we look at allocating our money and spending it, that we are considering all of these other ways that we're able to get after the things that we value. So it could even be a separate document, the things that we know we want to be doing with our family and friends and with our spiritual practices, so that we can kind of know, I'm going to get some fulfillment of my needs here, so that here's where I can then put some of my money into.
Yeah.
Even if you think it's a bit overhyped, AI is suddenly everywhere, from self-driving cars to molecular medicine to business efficiency. If it's not in your industry yet, it is coming fast. But AI needs a lot of speed and computing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? Time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a blazing fast and secure platform for your infrastructure, database, and application development, plus all your AI and machine learning workloads. OCI costs 50% less for compute and 80% less for networking, so you're saving a pile of money. Thousands of businesses have already upgraded to OCI, including MGM Resorts, Specialized Bikes, and Fireworks AI. Right now, Oracle is offering to cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to OCI for new U.S. customers with minimum financial commitment. Offer ends December 31st, 2024. See if your company qualifies for this special offer at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic.
We have one more act for you this evening. I don't even need to say his name. Mr. Bob Dylan.
A Complete Unknown is now a Golden Globe and Critics' Choice nominee for Best Picture.
Bobby, what do you want to be?
Whatever it is they don't want me to be.
Timothée Chalamet astonishes as Bob Dylan in one of the best performances of the year.
Do the bums a dime in your prime.
And critics rave Edward Norton is absolutely fantastic.
70,000 people are here, and Bobby is the reason for it.
They just want me singing Blowing in the Wind for the rest of my life.
Don't miss the movie critics are hailing 5 stars.
To be on you.
It's pure cinematic magic.
Turn it down!
Play loud.
And named to AFI and the National Board of Review's Top 10 Films of the Year.
Make some noise, BD. Track some mud on the carpet.
A Complete Unknown. Now playing only in theaters. Rated R. Under 17 and admitted without parent.
It's the Knix Best of 2024 sale, going on now at Knix.com. Don't miss incredible deals on life-changing leak-proof underwear, unbelievable everyday bras, and more from the #1 leak-proof brand in North America. Save big, like 30% off bras, 40% off leak-proof, 50% off tops and bottoms, 60% off swim at Knix.com. That's KNIX.com. Millions of women have made the switch to Knix's revolutionary period underwear, and there's never been a better time for you to try them. During the Best of 2024 sale, save up to 40% on super comfy, machine-washable, and stylish leak-proof undies. Plus, shop other year-end clearance deals like 30% off bras, 50% off tops and bottoms, 60% off swim, and more. Stock up on your Knix favorites or try something new during the Knix Best of 2024 sale. But hurry, these deals are only good while supplies last. That's KNIX.com. Hurry, the sale ends this Thursday and sizes will sell out. Go to Knix.com. That's KNIX.com.
Sail to breathtaking destinations in Alaska or Europe with Disney Cruise Line. Discover where onboard magic meets onshore adventures, where beloved characters
Hiya, pal!
meet alluring landscapes, where Broadway quality shows meet historic cities, where imaginative dining meets amazing wildlife, and where exciting experiences await the whole family. Book an adventure-filled summer Disney cruise to Alaska or Europe.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness, and there are a lot of different ways. Happiness is unique to each individual, but living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start. Before they start is an important part, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. So for a happier, healthier you, use Colgate Total and actively help prevent oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities. You'll be happy you did. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
And if you're looking at your budget and you like having the different categories very specific, then by all means, keep it and then just create notes to the side that tell you like which values you're meeting with each of these expenses. So it can be done either way, depending on who you are. But again, like Jill said, you could also have a separate one because maybe you are married to a person or in a relationship with a person who is more flexible and you're more categorical. And maybe you need the same budget presented two different ways to make it make sense. That is fantastic and great and can be done.
We still have these core tenets that need to be a part of a spending plan. We did do an episode on the Holy Trinity of money management, and that includes the three things of income, spending, and investing. So these are still going to be important components that you're considering when it comes to allocating where your money goes and knowing how much money you even have to allocate. So we've got to take into consideration the reality of our take-home pay. And that does fluctuate for many of us. What we bring home month to month can shift. So we are going to recommend creating a spending plan based off of your lowest months. The other months will just be bonus, and you can allocate, the extras in the ways that are going to be necessary for you. But take into consideration, what am I bringing in? What am I earning each month? And how do I then want to spend that? So some of that, of course, is going to be on your basic necessities, your bills and your utilities and your housing. What is left over? And how can I filter that into these higher values? In what ways can my discretionary spending align with the goals that I have to get at these 4 F's in more fulfilling ways? And how am I also considering my investing and savings goals? So we're still considering having a fully funded emergency fund and other goals of paying down debt and investing. We love to encourage you to put investing on autopilot so that this is not something that needs to be taking up a ton of time and energy for you. Your mind doesn't need to be going to this constantly, but you've been contributing monthly automatically to a Roth IRA. You're having contributions taken out of your paycheck for your 401k. You're getting the match. So that's something that we definitely need to look at, but it doesn't need to be a part of our spending plan that is taking a lot of our time and energy to think about.
Yeah. So time, again, we're involving the budgeting of our time in this too. So we want to be budgeting some of our time to either be increasing our income, or we need to be looking at our spending and saying, do I need to budget less of my time to creating income to create a more balanced budget overall? So these are two sides of the coin that two different people may need to look at. And it may just be seasonal too. I need to take time and make less income right now so that I can do some other experiential like job or learning so that in 2 years, I increase my capability of earning. But the debt I take on doesn't negate that increase. So again, it's looking at the math. For spending, we already talked about that. And then also for investing or saving your emergency fund, whichever one you're on, is when you put that on autopilot, you don't need to budget as much time. You really only need to budget time once a year to reallocate to make sure you're in a good alignment with your risk tolerance.
And when we're doing this after a 90-day transaction inventory, and maybe even in conjunction with a no-spend challenge or after a no-spend challenge, we have those tools. We have some of that understanding of ourselves and how we can make this plan that's going to work for us, and a plan that incorporates this new skill of spending that we are continuing to refine and helps us to know what goals should I even be setting here with my income and my earning, and what goals should I be setting with my habit and impulse spending and just all of my different types of spending. What goals should I be having with some negotiation efforts on bills, and where do I want to be seeking ways to lower some of my expenses, and where are there categories where I see, oh, I'd love to increase this? What do I know is coming up for the future that can inform the ways in which I want to set money aside? What I set aside into different sinking funds year over year will change based on what's coming up that year, my goals for that year, who I plan to be seeing, how I plan to be meeting some of my family and friend core values. So all of that's the reason we talk about doing these things beforehand, because this is just going to be the implementation then for the skill set. And what to expect with this part of our Budget Better bonus series when we're planning for the future. I think we can expect, as usual, for it not to go perfectly. And that is okay. In fact, it's great when we're not perfect, because we can learn from those things and we can have grace and permission on ourselves, and we can create maybe even more flexibility. Maybe we realize that with the next month's spending plan, I am much more of a spontaneous person than I even realized. And how do I include that then in my budget? Where can I make shifts so that I can have more room for some of these last minute activities or invites that I love engaging in? But I think what we can also expect here is that it will go in tandem, that our plan will also help us to refine our skill set, and our skill set of spending will help to inform the plan, that we will get better at this over time, but expect to have to continue to keep a regular pulse on this, especially in the beginning, that we are checking this potentially with every pay period, definitely at least every month, that we're looking at our transactions, we're looking at our plan, we're considering our 4 Fs and what needs to continue to be refined.
Yeah, and this is a plan. Just because it's flexible doesn't mean it's not intentional. And so we're actually, for everyone who pre-orders Buy What You Love Without Going Broke before January 10th, we are doing a free class on how to make a 1-year-long spending plan, where we're going to use these principles of budgeting time, we're budgeting our money, We're being flexible so that you can make sure that you are getting everything you want in 2025 in a way that you can afford it and feel full. So that is happening January 29th. So head to buywhatyoulovebook.com to pre-order that and submit your proof of purchase so that you can get in on that live with us.
Do you know what I love to get in on live with you?
Not the bill of the week.
Nope. The lightning round. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, we're keeping the vulnerability round for these bonus episodes.
I got it.
But we're not doing the bill of the week. So sorry. There's just not enough time.
Yeah. So, are there any changes you're making to your spending plan next month or maybe in 2025?
So for me, I'll answer this for next month. So for January, I'm realizing that we can reduce our miscellaneous part of our budget. And I keep my spending plan really simple. It is, it's mostly food related. I actually parse out two types of food. There's groceries and there's eating out, like restaurants or takeout or any type of eating out food. Then I've got miscellaneous and gas and parking. So those are my categories for my discretionary spending. Of course, I've got, my bills and insurances and all of that. But as far as discretionary goes, that's what it looks like. So miscellaneous includes like everything from paper products to clothing to just whatever I want to buy that month. That kind of hits that need of spontaneity and being able to kind of be a little bit flexible with what those things look like. And recognizing that I had a pretty high miscellaneous plan kind of month over month. Most of this is still carrying over, believe it or not, from when we were doing renovations. And we've been done renovations for 8 to 9 months now. And I did use our miscellaneous or our renovations sinking fund for that, but I still kind of kept it a little bit higher so that we could kind of buy, the extra handles or the caulk or, kind of the smaller things that I wasn't going to be pulling out of our renovation sinking fund. But now we're just not buying a lot. I don't need the amount of money that I have allocated. But what I do need is to re-increase our housing sinking fund. So we are still recovering from the hurricanes that hit us in October. And while we've gotten some of our projects done, we've got more projects coming up of needing to redo the roof on our garage. We'd like to add stucco to the exterior of the house, which would just help to make it more waterproof, because this is where our minds are at now, is how to protect ourselves from future flooding. So needing to increase that sinking fund. So making this plan to reduce miscellaneous spending so that I can allocate more to this sinking fund and hopefully within the next few months be ready to start moving on the next projects for the house. What about you?
So in March, our child care bill will go down $50 a week, and I will be changing up our budget to allocate that towards investing. So we took a drastic drop in our investing. In tandem, we had a second child and Travis took a lower paying job. So that meant we had to stop investing altogether for a time. And really the check-in with our budget, our annual transaction inventory, is what kind of tells us, okay, we've banked money, we can put this towards investments. And again, that's not the way people should start doing it. Investing should be on autopilot. We have a very good nest egg right now. So we can afford to do it the other way around. But we were able to max out last year's 2023's IRA kind of at the last minute where we had stopped, right? But then we were like, okay, we check in, we do have the money, let's just, finish it off and max it out. So we're going to do something again similarly to that. I don't think we will max it out this year, but we could, I think, possibly for the 2025 year.
Yeah. But that was the benefit of you in your earlier years being able to have this investing on autopilot so that now you can be more flexible now with that higher need of fulfilling work, being able to pursue that for both of you. So that's excellent.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for joining us for this little bonus series. We hope you liked it. Feel free to give us some feedback on it if you want other little bonus extra series, kind of short little snippets. Feel free to let us know. Leave reviews if you liked this. That would be helpful for us as well. This rounds out this bonus series, so there won't be more, but we will continue with our regularly scheduled full-length episodes through the rest of the week. So enjoy that, and we'll see you in the new year.
And head to buywhatyoulovebook.com to order Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. We talk about all these things more in depth, and hopefully that will help you and inspire you to have a really fantastic 2025 financially and just in life in general.
See you next time.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni.
The holiday season is back, which means it's a time for giving. Subaru and its retailers believe in giving back to those who need it most. For the past 17 years, Subaru has made the act of buying a Subaru during the holiday season an act of love. When you purchase or lease a new Subaru during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers donate a minimum of $300 to charity. By the end of this year's event, Subaru and its retailers will have donated nearly $320 million to national and hometown charities. To learn more, go to Subaru.com/share. Subaru, more than a car company.
Pros trust the Home Depot for heavy-duty storage solutions for any job site or garage. Right now, get up to 25% off select online storage and organization. Impact and water-resistant totes and shelving built to hold up to 2,500 pounds. Storage systems have space for all your tools and protect them in the garage, on the job site, and everywhere in between. Save time and maximize efficiency with adjustable shelving customized to your business needs. Shop and save on pro-grade storage at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
With Kroger brand products, you can get all of your favorite things this holiday season. Because our proven quality products come at exceptionally low prices. And with a money-back quality guarantee, every dish is sure to be a favorite. From sweet sugar cookies and holiday ham to that perfect slice of pie. Whether you shop delivery, pickup, or in-store, Kroger brand has all your favorite things. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your teen requested a ride, but this time not from you. It's through their Uber Teen account. You drive your teenager around, a lot, to their friend Jacob's house, their other friend Jake's house, to James's, to Jaden's, to Jalen's, to...
Mom? This is Jake's house, not Jacob's.
Now with an Uber Teen account, your teen can request a ride under your supervision. They'll ride with a highly rated driver, and with live trip tracking, you'll follow along the whole ride to their friends' houses that all sound the same. Add your teen to your Uber account today. See app for details.
Bye, Mom.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. We all know that old saying about teaching a man to fish. And as parents, we want our kids to learn the things that will set them up for success. So this holiday season, give kids money skills that will last well beyond 2024 with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families, where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely, with parental controls built in. Sign up today at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.